Hello, I would like to do a video, a flip through of what I'm calling my Colorado journal. I had a friend, she was needing to have a book for her daughter-in-law who lives in Colorado. Well, I had to come up with an idea. I found a wonderful digital kit called Thru the Trees, and you'll see it throughout here very much. And it had all the animals I needed, some of the plants and critters and other things, um, some of the trees and such. Well, anyhow, so I made up this cover. It's kind of like just I guess a Mod Podge of forest things. And this is one of the images from Melina Art Designs, and I have a few of those through here. This is, of course, Tim Holtz, his die cuts, and this was from, I believe it was, Autumn Garden. That was it. Autumn Garden by the Journal Boat. I put book corners on here to make it sturdy. I made like a book spine where it looks like an actual book. There's nothing on the back, but because I wanted to leave the pretty green wood grain design. Has tabs all through it because I was trying to make it look like a file. And they're walking through the forest and seeing all these animals and filing away their discoveries, that kind of a thing. In the front, I have a letter, which is to the recipient, and it's giving them their scenario. They're a naturalist, and they're walking through and tells what they see, and I put that on a piece of my coffee dyed paper. This here is a little booklet that was from My Porch Prints, and they gave it to me as a freebie because I ordered something. So I just put a few of I backed it with the other freebie that came with that same set. And I just put some of my own tea dye, coffee dye papers in there. And it's, oh, I've had it upside down. Goodness, I'm sorry. And it was just for them to scribble in if they wanted to. That's all that would be for. Here is one of the images from the Forest Through the Trees by Wonders by Wink on Etsy. And the black bear is one of the main carnivores or whatever. No, not carnivore. He eats fruits and veggies, doesn't he? So anyway, he's one of the big animals that's out there. This was a little picture from back off of Blue Ridge Parkway, and we saw the skinniest black bear there was. Well, anyway, so I had to put his little picture in there. You'll see these little book plates throughout, and they're from My Porch Prints. There's several sizes. I have little images here that came from Artie Mays's freebies, I believe, on her Facebook page. Here's one of the scenes. I have about 6 or 8 of these in here. This is Mountain Landscape by Charm Studio, and that was the first thing I got when I thought of this journal I needed to do, because it has the beautiful mountains and foothills, and there's a waterfall, all the things you'd see in Colorado. This is another from the Forest Through the Trees digital. Same here. I have a little clusters all throughout here, and it's just a mixture of everybody. Tim Holtz, Wonders by Wink. I think that's the Autumn Garden by the Journal Boat. This is a little find from Michael's, and it was like these little Polaroid die cuts or chipboards. So I took some of my own photos and put in here, and then I did a little script on here, like they found that, took a picture of it. This was another of the little images from Wonders by Wink. It's a little ticket with a squirrel, I believe he is. This is the Melina Art Designs, and she had 4 of these with bugs and mushrooms, one on either side of her page, and it's some really beautiful images. Um, Here is just another. Now these little their quotes are all throughout here, and they're from Artie Mays. And I did some stamping from my field notes set from Tim Holtz. There are, I don't even know where that come from. I had that thing for ages. So I said, oh, here's the cabin. This is where the lady is going to be staying. That is her base of operations. And sorry, I just knocked my camera. Then I have over here, this was from the Melina Art Designs, and that was part of hers too. And I made a little pocket for the tag to go in. Watch me not be able to get back down in there. And it's sort of like a little specimen slide idea. Here is where I made this into a pocket on this side. And this is an elk from the Forest Through the Trees by Wonders by Wink. Here was some of my dyed paper. I just dyed. It came out pink, but I think I wanted tea dyed. Anyhow, this was a little policy closure. It doesn't have anything in it, but it had this woodsy look to it. So it could be filled with little notes or trinkets, anything she'd like to save. So I made a little tuck out of this, and it just slides right in there. This is Tree Line by die cut by Tim Holtz, and I put withered leaves about your feet down below it here. This is the moose. He's another one of the large creatures out there, and I've tried to do the book plate, and then I'll say, you know, the species name or family name. This is the mountain landscape. This was a little book I had made, and I made it upside down. I'm sorry, but you could actually rip it upside down if you wanted to, but it's just full of little pages I had dyed over last summer. And I don't even know, I think Rebecca Stowers, I had all this stuff from her way back, and that was part of it. Another one of the little journal cards, didn't have anything on it, so it could be filled up with pictures or anything. This is one of the images from Forest Through the Trees, and there's falcons and birds of prey out there. Here's another one of those Rebecca Stower images, and this is just a little pocket with a few little things in it. You have some more of the Wonders by Wink. Like I said, she's throughout here a lot, the Forest Through the Trees. This little guy, he's from My Porch Prints, and it was a winter journal that I had gotten last year, and I'm sure they've got rabbits out there. That was about the only image I had to use for that. There was some of the mushrooms that I thought were so pretty. More of my Polaroids. Here was the monarch, and I manipulated this flower to look like a black-eyed Susan, because that's one of their big flowers out there. Here was an image I drew back in, I don't know, 80s, somewhere in art class. And it's a bighorn sheep, and I just stuck this little piece of scrap dyed notebook paper in here. Then you have the page I posted on one of my Facebook places I follow. It's Miss Paints a Lot. Anyhow, if you stamp on these copy papers, they will bleed through to the other side. So the only possibility you could do is if you're going to cover the other side with a pocket or something to hide that bleed through, or you can stamp it on another piece of paper and put it in with glue. Well, I got to thinking, well, what if I was to heat emboss white? And this is for the aspen tree. And it worked. It doesn't bleed through at all. That was just, I think, it blends in so much you can't really tell that little bit of, what was that though, where I did the embossing ink to get it on there. Some more of the Tim Holtz tree line. It went so well with the Forest Through the Trees image. Oh, and of course I hand drew that from a picture I found online. I had this from ages ago and thought it went so well with a riverboat. I'm sorry, I don't know if there's a riverboat out there, but it was part of the mountain landscape section of digital I had. This was another Wonders by Wink, and I made it a little pocket for a slide card, I guess you'd call it. It's just a little window. You can actually write on the back of it if you want, like a journal card. Try not to wiggle my table too much. There we go. And then a few blank I needed to leave some blanks for her to write in. Here was just a little collage I come up with my scraps that I had left over. And of course, I love that mushroom. He is just right up there in your face. Here's another little project I did and posted, and it's 2 envelopes that I had tea-dyed ages ago. I took a little piece of paper, cardstock actually. I think it might have been an inch, and I scored it down the middle, and I attached both of my envelopes together so I could sew it in the signature. Then I decorated it. I stamped the whole side with field notes randomly. So anyhow, that's what this little area is for. This book has 3 signatures in it, by the way, with only about 8 pages in each signature. So it's a hidden spine. It is a hidden spine. It was the first time I'd ever done one, and it turns out so well. I'll probably do most of them from now on. Now, I don't know if fairies are out in Colorado, but there is one. So he is going in here. And then over on this side, I have a little booklet I made from a Stamperia pack. And it folds down and it folds out. And you can write in it or put photos in it to store. And then you can fold it back up again and have them safely tucked away. And then it just goes in there. And this was a little Mod Podge I came up with. I actually found a feather out in the yard. This is some of the tea bag strings from my tea dyeing. I have a layered stamp. It has 3 layers to it that I did these butterflies with. And all of the other kits that I've mentioned mostly are on here. There's another one of my Polaroids with a crazy little beetle I found. I thought he was so pretty. Here's another also pocket. And I wrote on this little tag, it's a milkweed butterfly. And that's all it is, a little slide. And I think I had him in this way. Here was another of the Molina art design and another collage by me with some birds. I think I got these for freebies on Scrapbooking with Me. So was this one. She had tickets. And this, I believe, was from Artie Maze's site. A lot of these little tickets and pieces are very good to do collages with. Another tuck. This little guy just tucks in there. This was from Autumn Garden. And I thought, well, you know, it kind of goes with this paper I dyed. So I really like, it's maybe got some of the other trees that are out in Colorado. And the other side of the riverboat. And just another tiny tuck. It's just got a couple little tags. That's got a little bear on it, black bear. And here was another card, I believe, from it was the winter journal I did, and I believe that was the journal boat as well. See, here's one of the, you got 2 different images here, but it looks like it's flowing into one mountain to another. Here is an elk, and he's by the river. And she had the elk also on a envelope that you could fold up. And there isn't anything in here. I made it to where you could flip it all the way out and then just tuck it away this with this little tab, and you only just glue like the lower part. That's how you can make it stay shut. Here here was a couple more drawings by me. These were horses I had done long ago, and I had a yellow background, and I tried to go and see if I could get copies made to sell. Well, he said nobody would have yellow in their house, so that fell through. So I just fussy cut around the horses and put them in here because, of course, they have Mustangs. They have wild horses out there. Here's a bunch of butterflies. This was a little skipper butterfly I found on a flower up on Big Meadows on the Parkway. It's in the Polaroid. I sure wish I could find some more. I got a few left, but not many. This is the library pocket that has just a card in it that I stamped on. This is one of those Melina Art Design tags that went along with this set. Another Polaroid with, of course, the Columbine. They have a lot of Columbine out there. Here's the moose again. And she has, this is the Forest Through the Trees. She has these pretty lined papers, like grids and such. And you could probably write on those very easily. This was a picture of a white-tailed deer I took up there. And I'm sure they have those out there as well. And this was another image by Wonders by Wink. Here's another Rebecca Stower and the Melina Art Design tags and journal cards that came with her set, which is another one here. This is just a cluster. It's not a pocket. But this was some of the Autumn Garden by the Journal Boat with a lot of Artie Mays around it. Then we have one of the third butterfly. I did 3 to try them out, and this was the third one. And this is a little flip me and my friend Michelle Olgata made one night, and it's a play off of something from gosh, I just went blank on her. But she did something where it had 3 circles on a belly band, and I saw specimen pockets. So it's pink monarch prints. Okay, that's what it was. But it definitely had a piece that comes up, and it has a belly. I made a belly band on mine here, and it's just got an envelope with a butterfly on it, and it has butterfly exposition. So that was one of those scrapbooking with me tickets, and it went so well there. And then I made my little pockets, I guess you'd say, and this is the tag that will come out, and it's got a number for each of the little butterflies. Come on, there we go. And this circle in here is the punch out from here, so I didn't waste anything. And then I used a little bit of field note snippets here to decorate. And then it had a butterfly section here. This was from the basic journal from my porch prints, and I backed it with the Wonders by Wink Forest Through the Trees image, so I had like a butterfly section. And here is, of course, I have to have bees since we're beekeepers. So I did a cutout, and my Polaroid has a bumblebee on some purple daisies. Then I put a bee image. This here is a pocket. This is Melina Art Design. This is a pocket I come up with. And this is just, I didn't want to fussy cut all those, so I made it a journal card. But anyhow, so this little guy, you have 3 ways you can go in. You can go in the top, you can go in here, and you can go in here. So all you do is you will glue this edge. It's just 2 triangles. You glue this edge all the way. Then you have this bottom piece, which will be glued at the 3 points. Now, if you want to make this easy on yourself, you can glue them both together right here at these corners, and I overlap them like a little fishtail. Then all you'll do is do that L down here and one dot in that corner and glue it down, or put it down. And that's all you need to do, and it makes the coolest little pocket. I came up with that one day because I had this piece of paper, and it was going to be upside down if I did it as another type of pocket this way. So I said, well, let me try it this way, and it turned out. Oh, here, this is the lupine. I had to go online to free images and find me some lupine, but that's one of the major flowers out there, so it was a must to go in here. And then here's a kit fox, and then some more little images from Artie Mae's, and I love these little quotes she had, so I try to put them throughout. And then a little, I don't know what you would call this. It's a policy closure, and it's maybe a little mini kit with other things she could put in the book if she would choose. And all of these little guys could go in a pocket. What do I have down in here? Oh, another one of those little coin envelopes and a leaf. But I'm trying to remember where we saw how to do this one. Tracy Fox, maybe? I think she did it maybe one day. Or Rachel. Roxy Creations. That could be who did that. And for the back, I had done these two little tucks, or for the back and front cover. Instead of a pocket, I did this because I covered my whole spine. And then I did my hidden spine by sewing my 3 signatures into a strip that was just like this. Then I glued that strip down, and I mean, it's just, I love it. It's different than any of the others I've done, and you can see in there, I'm trying to find the middle, but you can see in there, so be sure to put a pretty piece of paper in there. Oh, so that is a labor of love, and it's done. And I thank you for going through a flip through with me.